welcome back to Weeby Kids. In this session, we're going to be using some beautiful fresh willow tips to make an Easter basket that you can use as a bird feeder afterwards. If your willow isn't freshly cut, then make sure that you soak your willow in water for 12 to 24 hours. Usually overnight is sufficient. To keep any spare willow whips damp whilst you are working, use an old towel soaked in cold water, as willow can dry out very quickly in dry conditions. For the small decorative baskets that we've made, we used 6 willow whips, approximately 80 centimetres to 1 metre in length, but I would recommend always having some spares in case your willow snaps and you need to replace some pieces. You're also going to need a pair of secateurs, some ribbons or string, wool, something for a handle, and a patch of earth. Begin by gently teasing out your willow between your hands. Notice that I'm leaning it against my thumbs. Because the willow whips are so thin, this should be relatively easy. If needed, trim your willow of any hard ends. Taking your first whip, place the bottom 5 to 10 centimetres deep into your earth. Do this with 4 whips to mark out a square. And place your 5th whip in one of the corners to place 2 next to each other. So they are laid out something like this. Double check all of your whips are firmly in the ground before you begin. Start in your double-ended corner and lay one of the whips down flat, placing it down in front of one of the opposite whips. Then fold down the one that it's crossed in front of and place that one in front of the next corner, and that corner then down in front of the next corner, and so on until you've created a square shape. That takes you back round to the first whip again, and you place that one down on top, always placing down in front of the whip on the other side. Then continue with this pattern until you feel confident in what you are doing and how flexible your willow is. Should your willow come to an end before you've reached the end of your basket, leave yourself about 10 centimetres length and then start with a new piece. Notice you end with the thin tip of your willow whip, and so you join the next one also with the thin end. Had you started with a thick end, you'd be joining now with another thick end. Then continue weaving as you were before, but this time weave the double whips together. Weave a few times, and then if there's anything of your shorter end remaining, you can let that go and snip that away later. When you come to the end of your weaving, check that all your weaving is tight, and then see if you can find a slot where you can begin to thread your ends through. Pull those tight and then use your secateurs to cut away any excess. Now you're ready to remove your basket work from the earth and weave in the loose end at the top. With that complete, once again take your secateurs and snip the excess away around the top. And there you have the base to your basket complete. Doesn't it look beautiful? Now all that remains is to take your ribbon and tie on either side at the top to use as a handle. Decorate as you wish, and there we have it, Willow Easter egg hunt basket finished. And afterwards you can also use it as a beautiful bird feeder in your garden. I hope you've enjoyed this resource and that you have a wonderful Easter. Take care! Bye from Weeby Kids!